All right. Well, welcome everybody. Today is Saturday, April 13th. I think that's the date today. And we just want to welcome you out to the training and so excited to be here. There's so many great things that are going on. Sorry, I've got a frog in my throat with Relive. And, you know, a lot of us, we're going to talk about the conference that the majority of us were all at last week because there were a lot of announcements, but also going to do some training things. But this is a real fun time. This is my time that I can kind of share a few things, give you guys updates. Most important thing to me is my family. We have 4 grandkids. On the left is Andy and Macy. They are 6 and 4. Cute little guy on the right with Daisy Duck is Jimmy, and he is 2. They're all like 6.5, 4.5, and 2.5. The little tank or chubby or beefy little 8-month-old is Jojo on the left. For those of you that know Jimmy, little Jojo at the same month of 8 months is only 5 pounds less than him, so she's going to be a big girl. And on the right is our new puppy, Max. And we had him 3 weeks today. So, and then I didn't put any pictures of Jim in there because he's on the training. But these are the important things in our life as in our family. So last month we were at the Relive Live concert and or not concert, but conference, and a lot of things took place. I'm going to go through a couple of slides, and then we're going to do some takeaways, and then we'll go over the announcements and everything like that. But this was really, really fun. We had our Fit 3 winners. We had, that was Lucia, and oh my gosh, I wrote her name down. I had brain cramp. But,
morning, this is Rachel Jones from California joining on.
Oh, good morning. Welcome. Morning. On the right-hand side, we've got, and everybody go ahead and mute yourself when you get on the line. That way I don't have to. We can make sure it stays clear. Cheryl Laux had brought a guest, and we've got George and Debbie Granz, and Cheryl's up in Seattle all by herself, and she's actually been involved with Relive for 23 years and was involved, and then kind of everything happened, and now she's back in. Jim did a 3-way with her for a couple hours yesterday, just on the phone, and you know, it's kind of amazing. Relive is really one of those things where the timing has to be right and how we get things done. And let me see, I've got the chat thing. Oh, Robert's saying good morning. We've got on down to here. Again, it was so exciting for Mary Lou and Lucia to win this challenge. You can kind of look at just the difference, and they're best friends, and there they are, and they just got glammed up and just had so much fun. I'm so proud of them. And there were other Fit 3 winners as well, but so fun. You know, I had all these pictures, but some of them turned kind of fuzzy. I did notice at the end as I was watching other people, especially all the penguins in front of me, how they were like adjusting their like the lighting when they were taking their picture, and I realized, oh, I can do that too. There's Robert and Lauren on the stage with Tom, and that was fun. And then Brenda and April and I on the last day as we were heading out towards the airport. So let's talk about some takeaways from conference. And let's all share, and then kind of what you really got out of conference. And then when you're done, go ahead and remute your line. That would help. So who wants to share first? Thank you, Robert. I know, yes, the light was really rough. I mean, I was trying to take pictures of slides, and you'd have this like lighting taking out half of it, so it was kind of fun, kind of crazy. But let's go ahead and share. I know some people got something out of conference.
Hey, Quila?
Yes.
Hi, this is Diane Helmold, and oh my gosh, I just thought it was the most amazing conference. I am a new distributor, and I know we always say every conference is the best, but maybe being small, it made it more intimate. Tom was readily available, so was Ryan, Javier, Aaron Cox. I mean, everybody was available to talk to, and it brought another level of belief for all of our new people. We had 12 new people there. 6 registered for conference and got their plane tickets, and 4, I believe, are going master affiliates. So, and these are people in my downline that I didn't even know a month ago. But I sent out an email. I'm going. Please, who do you have in the area? Let's get them there. And they were great. They got them there, and then they connected them to me on a conference call prior to the conference. And I met them, and I included them in our group. And the 5 are from California, Sacramento area, and they were excited. So, and another thing was keeping it simple is hard. Boy, did that hit home with me. And only use what's available for your Relive business that Relive puts out. Brand yourself, brand Relive, and do the same thing. So everybody knows, oh, that's Relive. I saw that. You know, that is so important, keeping it simple, and it is hard.
Yeah, it isn't. By the way, everyone said that they couldn't unmute themselves. I just unmuted everyone. So if you want to *6 at your line, if you're not talking, that way it kind of keeps it quiet for everybody. But here's the thing. One of the things what Diane said was really important, and it's about using Relive materials. And we've had a website, relivingfreedom.com, and then we just got word that website, the provider that's been helping us, it will be shut down. And the reason is, and we're going to show in just a minute, but there's no reason to have all these other things. Relive has the new websites that are going into effect in about a week are absolutely incredible. Relive has gotten, in my opinion, they went from the back of the pack as far as technology and websites to the front. And oh my gosh, I mean, they put a lot of work into these websites, and they just keep getting better and better. So, no, I totally agree with you, Diane. Really, really good. So, who else wants to share?
I can share, Quila.
Okay.
Well, I took away a lot from conference, but I think it comes back to what we just heard, that simple is hard. And it's always easy to get stuck up in every little detail that you heard in conference. And my big takeaway was don't get stuck up on all the peripheral things. Keep the main thing, which is finding new people, introducing them to Relive, and plugging them into the system and doing it again and again and again. And
hey, hold on just a second. I am muting some lines just again because it's too noisy.
Some of it might be my background. I'm at Starbucks also.
No, okay. Well, anyway, I muted some lines, so go ahead.
Okay. But really, it comes down to simple really is hard, and we've been practicing that for the last week, and we're seeing that firsthand. And it's all about the new people, and we have to never forget that. And I think as long as we are focusing on new people every day and introducing them to Relive, this is going to be a really exciting few months.
I'm so excited because you talked about new people, and actually we're going to talk about that a little bit because that's really what grows our business. And I really thought it was a great conference. Didn't you think, I mean, Tom and Ryan put so much heart into this conference. I mean, true heart. And it was heartfelt and one of those things that was, I don't know, I left it really, it left an impact on me about where they want to go, and I really believe when I said that Relive's going to move on with or without us. It doesn't matter what we do, and we can all be doing the right things, but if we don't get moving and start doing stuff, we're going to get run over because it is going to move forward. So thank you, Robert. Anybody else want to share? And if you can't, if I've muted you, and oh, Lauren. All right, hold on, Lauren. Let me see where you are. All right, can you say something now?
Hello.
Hi there.
Well, yay. It kept saying attendant or anyway, blah, 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 blah.
Well, no, I muted it because all of a sudden it was noisy, and I thought, well, so sorry.
But even when you unmuted, I tried and it still didn't. But Robert hopped on and I was like, yay, okay, at least one of us. But I would happily share. And actually, shout out to our friend Rachel, who's on the call. She got on a little bit late. But we had an absolutely incredible call the other day, and just, it's funny, you said timing is everything, and that's exactly what it is for Rachel, but she's really excited to share or to get going with her business. So we're excited to work with her. So welcome to the call, Rachel. So happy you're on. But conference, I mean, it's always exciting, you know, seeing all our friends and just learning from the best and, you know, getting encouraged by all the leaders and, you know, seeing what's new and what's coming out. And, you know, we're excited about the new websites. We're excited about, you know, all this going on with CBD. That's really exciting. But honestly, as I was thinking about it just now, for me, it was the drive home. We rented a van and packed our whole group in one van, and we just had a powwow, and we dreamed, and we made goals, and we talked. And there was just something different in everybody's voices, and the way that they talked, and the determination and the excitement. It was different, and it was exciting, and even more exciting as people are following through. Christina and I are holding each other accountable, which has been very helpful, even more so than usual. But it's just, we're taking this momentum, and we're going. So it's been fun.
You know, I remember our trips that we used to go when, you know, we first started Relive. We would go to we went to Chicago a lot because at that time Chicago was where the events were being held, and we spent a lot of money on flights, or I did, and that you are right, going and coming back, because when you come back, it's, you know, when you come back from a conference, you're all excited, and then sometimes you walk in the door of your house and then reality sets in. But it's important to hang on to that, because that is what gets you through to where you want to be. You have to remember it's that feeling. And it's not so much what was said, it's the feeling of what you're experiencing. And I'm totally with you on that, Lauren. It's pretty exciting. So thank you. Anybody else want to share? And if I inadvertently muted you, go in the chat box and say unmute me. Anybody else want to share?
Quila, it's Brenda.
Hi, Brenda.
Hey, so a couple things. So I did love the intimacy of things, but I really did like the new website and the time that they took to explain it and where to find things and how it's going to look, and even the tutorial tool. But the other thing that I really loved was the new presentation that they did. And we did have a couple questions on that, and maybe you know the answer, or maybe somebody on the call does. So it had part, you know, that you told, then it had videos. So is it all inclusive when you do it? Is it like a video that you can send, and it includes the videos that they showed? Or is it just that when you are doing the presentation, the videos are available, and then you just have to punch into them?
Robert just said that the videos are included in the presentation you download. If you download the one with the videos, and then you go through the presentation. So you can download that, then you get all of it. And the reason they said to download it is because sometimes you might be in an area that doesn't have Wi-Fi.
Okay, great. That answers my question. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hey,
and Robert says it's a little over a gig, so allow some time to download. Yeah, it's a big file. But once we get that, everyone should be downloading that onto your device so that you could use it whether you're on an airplane or in Starbucks or wherever you might be. Anyway. And
hey
thank
Quila.
you. Hi there.
Hi, it's Diane. I just wanted to share that when we came back, we had an in-home set up in Henderson, Nevada, and there were, 7 or 8 new people. What we did was we served Energize, and then they filled out a little customer profile. Well, some did. I think the others did at the end. And we watched. I shared my story and then said, watch this. We just kept it so simple. We watched, and the videos popped up, Brenda. All the videos, and then you have your stories ready. You want to look at that and review it and see where you want to put in your health and business stories, because Tom tells you if you have stories, this is the place to share them now. So it takes practice, do dry runs, but it is really awesome.
Very fun. Diane, it's exciting. I mean, you've got some exciting things going on. Anybody else want to share?
Quila, this is Roger.
Hi, Roger.
Hey, we did a meeting here in Orem on Thursday, and we did the new presentation. We didn't do the video like what Diane was talking about. We did the slides and the videos mixed in. And it does give you the opportunity to download it without the videos if you want to do that. But all in all, the presentation, including stories, took just over 30 minutes. I mean, we had a couple of stories that went over, and I mean, we were only 35 minutes total. So it's an awesome presentation, and we modeled exactly what Tom modeled for us at conference, where we just read through the slides. I mean, we did not add in any fluff or anything, and just went through it that way. And I think it was an awesome presentation.
I did too, and I was thinking about years ago, like 27 years ago, how we were lucky if we could get finished with our, with the presentation in 45 minutes to an hour. I mean, it just took a long time, and everything is so much more simple. I mean, think about it. Everything is much more instant, and everybody wants that. They want to know all the answers really quickly, and I don't know, it's pretty good. Oh, Jim's saying, I like the way Diane gave us a visual of what to do and how to keep it simple. I agree. So very, very fun. All right. Anyone else have anything? Thank you, Roger.
Quila, can you hear me?
Yes.
This is Sandy Sopko.
Hi, Sandy.
I've always been intentional in what I do, but I think even more intentional with all that's been made available, because we've all kind of struggled through some of the media and trying to do everything right. And, you really can't do anything wrong with how they've set it up now. It's just a matter of using the right things so that you get the information to the people. But I would encourage people to be more intentional. And I know I promote the what if button, and I had a gentleman ask me what if, and I added what if you can feel better than good. And the way I got that was Rosemary Bell was rooming with us, and she's reading the book by Zig Ziglar, Better Than Good. And that has been incredible because I use it, and people listen when you say something different. So when somebody asks you, how are you? Don't just say, okay, oh, I'm doing great. Just say better than good. And that really gets them to pay attention. And so I really believe wearing a badge that says Relive Leader in Epigenetics, people will ask you, what is epigenetics? And I know this is not something that's new, but we just have to use something for people to talk to us and ask us, because that's the hard part. How do you start a conversation? Well, when you wear something, they start the conversation, and then you be ready to say back what you know is going to be of interest to them.
I agree, and actually I'm going to be that's what I'm going to be talking about. My training in a couple slides is all about talking. So what you just said goes right into what we're sharing. So thank you, Sandy. I like it. I know, better than good. And Zig Ziglar is such a great book. Everybody should be reading some sort of a book. Everyone should be reading some sort of a book that can help us move our business forward. Peachy said, the presentation with the video is excellent when there's not enough stories in the group. Any new person can duplicate it. That's right. Anyone can do this. So thank you. Okay. Anybody else? And then we're going to move forward. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and let me move these over just a little. And everyone, go ahead and mute your lines if you don't think that they're muted. What I wanted to do was I just quickly wanted to, I wanted to, I wanted to look at the Relive announcements. I think you guys can see my screen. What I wanted to make sure that everyone's remembering is that our profits are being paid weekly. You should be getting that, which is really kind of a neat thing. But the exciting thing is that the big volume bonus has doubled. We doubled our monthly master affiliates, and so the cash bonuses have doubled. So first place is $7,000. Second is 4. Third is 2. So how do you earn that? Well, to be eligible, $15,000 minimum in new volume. What does that mean? It's your personal group point volume in a calendar month for any distributor who's registered. Personal volume, not counting any cloggers, so anything that comes up to you from the people that you sponsor, the cloggers donations, that doesn't count. But you do get the point volume from master affiliates regardless of when they registered. So, if they've been in your group for a long time, then that helps. Bonus amounts reduced by 50% when new volume is between 7,500 and 15,000, and the top 3 new volume less than $7,500 do not qualify. They've got some things here. Basically, just go out and build your business, and it's pretty exciting. So phase 3 is going to be unlocked when the monthly master affiliates double again, and that goes to 10,000, 6,000, 4,000, 3,000, and 2. Kind of fun. Don't forget the Hawaii trip, and that's October 24th through the 28th to Maui. I've been on a trip. We've been to this particular facility in the Wailea Beach Resort. It's at the end of a strip in Maui, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, it's gorgeous. If you look at the little buildings to the left, there's a swimming pool, and then there's this group of buildings to the left with these lights, or not the lights, but windows, and there's like a little cove. We had on the top floor a room kind of right in the middle looking outside, and there were just tons of turtles that were swimming in that little cove right there, and it was absolutely beautiful. It's a strip where you can see the walking strip that's near the beach, and that strip goes down, and there are a lot of other hotels along the way, and different resorts and things like that. So it's just a beautiful trip, and it's really, this is the one where I was looking outside that window. It was about midnight at night, and I could hear splashing, and it was a full moon, and all the stars were out, and it was clear, and you could see the whales playing. It was like watching a movie. It still gives me goosebumps. So I think we all know how to qualify. If you don't, go online, and that'll kind of go and tell you how to get there. And let's see, we've got the Hawaii trip. The promotion for April is if you sign up 3 new people at the Quick Start level, you're going to earn a $250 bonus. If one of those individuals goes up to Master Affiliate, you get another $250 bonus. And then preferred customers who sign up for auto ship receive a 20% discount. That's a good thing. When you sign up 3 preferred customers on auto ship in a single month and they place an order of $99 or more, you get a $100 Relive credit. And so if you get the 3 of them to be ordering $200 or more, you get a $200 Relive credit. And remember that they all receive free shipping. There's free ground shipping on Quick Starts and Master Affiliates. I think sometimes we need to discuss that and remember that, because that is a big deal. Nobody likes to pay for shipping, and they're offering different ways that we can, get by that. So let me go back here. All right. Okay, I had used this picture many, many years ago before other people in Relive did. I found it and I loved it because I believe that, how we posture ourselves. And you have to ask, are you a kitty or are you a lion? Are you someone that's going to go, hello, if you want to talk about Relive, or are you like, hey, you heard about this? How we posture ourselves and talk to people is immense. I mean, Sandy was talking about talking. We can go and do all that. But if you don't believe in yourself, and if you don't have your feet planted in the ground and really believe that you're going to move forward to this with or without people, it doesn't matter what they say, then you're going to have success. But if you go with this and go, well, I'm going to talk to 3 people, and if they say no, then that's a sign. I can hear some background noise too, you guys, so mute your lines, please. That helped. Oh yeah, Robert's saying was, I'm going back on this chat box to make sure I'm not missing anything. But posture is a huge thing. It's everything from how you walk into a room. I read this book by Anthony Robbins, and it's Awaken the Power Within. And he talks about how when you walk into a room, how you really can command the room. And he was talking about how if you walk and your shoulders are back, your head's held up high, you don't have to be stuck up, but just head held up high, and you have confidence, and you're looking at the direction of where you want to go. He said literally the room will clear. And I remember I did this at a Trailblazer game once. The traffic, we were at a concession stand, and it was halftime. And I remember I wanted to get to this other side, and I thought, I'm just going to do what I read. And I just stood up. I had my chin held up high, again, not stuck up, but I have confidence. And my shoulders are back, and I just kind of walked through, and I'm telling you, I walked through that room. It's like the waters parted. I couldn't believe it. I was able to get through. And here's the thing. People respect you when you posture yourself in a position to be respected. If you're walking through a crowd and you're kind of sulked over and your shoulders are forward and your head's down, you're kind of shuffling along, that is not going to, people aren't going to follow that. They want to follow someone who knows where they're going. And you really need to ask yourself, do I know where I'm going? Maybe you don't, but you've got to get a road plan and try to figure out where you want to go. When we go out and when we talk to people, we all communicate differently. Sandy is talking about how she does her business. She wears buttons. I can tell you there's people on this call that don't want to wear buttons, and that's fine. But wearing buttons works for Sandy, okay? So we all need to figure out what works for us. We need to find our Reba voice. Sometimes, the way that I communicate, the way Diane communicates, the way Sandy communicates, Barbara Bonich, Robert Lauren Laird, Louise, everyone on this call, we all talk differently. And what I love, and I really love why we do these trainings the way we do, is we have different people sharing, is because we can't be someone that we're not. Nor can we can't expect someone to do something that they, I wouldn't say not capable of doing, but that they're not willing to do. So we need to figure out, how are we going to communicate to people? Well, the one thing you have to do, no matter how you do it, is you need to have confidence. I talked last week on Wednesday last week. I had my blood work done the Wednesday before conference. And one of the reports that came back, which was really good, was that my cholesterol, you guys, and this is what I think is amazing. Everyone knows the story that I used the Lunar-Rich capsules the wrong way. The first year, I took 10 a day, and my inflammation, my CRP test dropped from a 2.8 on the scale to a 0.5. And again, it's continued to drop. I might put a 0.3. You have to have some inflammation, but I don't have to worry about those diseases creeping up, which is really a great blessing. But I finally decided to take them the way that I should take them. And last year, my triglycerides dropped by 50 points, and my cholesterol only dropped 10. And that's really been the budge in my entire life. It's hereditary. So I went from 350 down to 250, and then I was like hovering at 240 forever. But I kept being really consistent with these capsules. And you guys, this is a story that you need to remember. So for a couple of years, I continued to take these capsules. When Jim had his heart attack, which has been 2 years solid, I've been very faithful taking my 4 Lunar-Rich capsules at night before I go to bed. And again, my first year, last year, they only dropped, a year ago, it dropped 10 points. But I thought, I'm going to keep doing this. But those triglycerides dropped 50. But guess what happened this year? My cholesterol dropped 45 points. I'm now at 196. I've never in my adult life been at 196. So my doctor was thrilled about that. You guys, where can you go? And as you get older, and the longer you're on these products, you continue to get those kind of results. So I had confidence. And I actually saw a friend, and we were just talking. I said, I'm so excited. I go, my cholesterol went down by 45 points. And she's like, wow. She goes, well, what is it? I need that. It was that simple. But if I would have said, yeah, my cholesterol went down by 45 points, nobody's going to listen to that. You guys have to have confidence in what you want to do. When you're talking to people, I don't say that you have to talk to everyone in a way that you're expecting to move them over and, get them on the products. You just need to talk to people. But you have to, whatever you do, whether it's you're sharing how you baked a cake, or whether you had a great event at your house, or the clothes that you're wearing, or something that you like. But you have to have confidence. And where does that come from? It doesn't come from your upline. It doesn't come from Relive. It comes from you. We can have the confidence from Relive that we've got the best company, the best product, but that inner self, that confidence has to come from no one else but you. No one else can do it for you, and no one else can be responsible whether you have that or not. That comes from within. All right, talking to a stranger. Well, and let's go back. If anybody has a way, when I'm talking to a person, a friend, usually, unless it is with a purpose, like let's say if I'm calling someone, I'm going, how are you? Hey, I'm calling, with a purpose, wanted to touch base on a couple things, but how are you? And usually when you ask that question, they're going to tell you their whole life. Oh, so-and-so's got this, or oh, my arthritis started up, and it just kind of happens. Or we don't have enough money, and, there's summer leagues coming, and we just don't have enough. Then that's where you can pop in and say, I was calling you for a whole bunch of reasons, but let's talk about that. And I could just say, what are you doing? I mean, if you want to put your kids in sports, what are you doing? And they say, well, I don't know what to do. And then I can truly tell them the truth. You know what? There's something that you might want to take a look at. And, do you have a minute? And I can kind of go into it. I wasn't expecting on going this long in our conversation, because usually people will talk a lot. And if they don't, I'll say, let's set a time. And they'll go, wait, what is it? What is it? And I'll just say, I have to go myself. And they'll say, but let's talk, and then I'll reschedule. Sometimes, let me rewind on that. Usually when I'm talking to someone and we've already spent a half an hour, I'll just say, I don't have time to go into this right now. Let's set up a time where I can, touch base with you and see if this is something that could work for you. It's worked for others. I don't see why, it wouldn't work for you, but let's just touch base. And then I'll set an appointment. And it's really that easy. Let me see. On the chat line we have, the name of the book again, it was Zig Ziglar's book, and I think it was from, what was it, Diane, from Good to Great? I feel Good to Great, I think that's what it is. Oh, Better Than Great. Better Than Good? Diane, whatever it is. And my book was Unleash the Power Within by Anthony Robbins. Oh, sorry, okay. I can't read all of these, but let me, I'm going to try to find my little thing here. Okay, so we need to know that. The next thing is talking to a stranger. I love talking to strangers because when they give you that rejection, which you're going to get much more than you would than talking to a friend, you don't really take it personally. So I shared, there's so many different examples of how we have of people talking to strangers, but I know that Brenda Louder on the line, she is really, really good at really listening to people, what they say. That's the biggest thing, and you need to use that skill set when you're talking to your friends the same way. But I've had so many instances where I've been out, I've talked to people, especially like if I'm shopping. I love going shopping. Usually you can get new people. I was on the airplane flying back on Saturday night from conference and met a lady that builds homes in Vietnam for survivors and homes or schools, and then told her about the Cloggers Foundation, and they're interested in that, and just kind of giving them a list to sending them some information. So you guys, we can talk to anyone. When we don't talk to someone, it's going to be an automatic no. That's what it's going to be. So many people are looking to feel better. So many people are looking for a job. But if you sit down and if all you talk about is all your sicknesses, and even if you're on Relive, but yet you're still got all these problems, that's not going to bring someone to getting onto Relive. They want to be around people that are happy and that are working towards health. We can tell people where we're at. I do. I mean, if someone asks me, how are you doing today? I'll most of the time I'm feeling, good, better than good, feeling great. But there are every now and then where if I'm not feeling the best, if I say that, people are like, well, that's not like you. You're always feeling great. That's kind of what you want to get at, is to that point. But before I got on Relive, I was sick all the time. So kind of getting off my soapbox here, but just talk to people, give them options. I always tell people, one of my very fun ones was, and I shared this at conference, was I was in the line at the grocery store, and a lady had Slim Fast, and I just asked her, do you really like that stuff? And she's like, no, but there's really nothing else out there. And I go, there is. I go, would you be interested in something that has a lot more protein, it's better for you, you know where the ingredients come from, and it tastes great? She goes, absolutely. And so we exchanged numbers. So it's just that easy. Talk to everyone. If you're having work done on your home, talk to the people that come to your work. Oh, by the way, Jim, Leo, our landscaper's here, and if you're on the line, I have that Spanish Lifestyle magazine. You should print it and give it to him. Sorry. Just thought about that. We talk to everybody, and Jim talks to everyone. He's very, very good. We have bug people that come and spray our house once a month with all natural spray, by the way. But they come and he talks to them. He talks to the people that work on, if we take our car in for service. He's always talking about that. We have our Relive license plates on our cars because that's just important to us. You guys, Relive's going to be, you know how like gelatin is Jell-O and tissue is Kleenex? Nutrition will be Relive. It will happen. And we just need to go out there. So talk to people, put your Relive shirt on. People will ask you, what is that? Or other people that have been on Relive before. I know, Diane, you gave me a little bit of a fear of loss there when you're in Sacramento, because I've got a lot of people that have been in Sacramento. People have been on the products before, or they heard about Relive. How many times when you're talking to a child or you tell them no? 7 times sometimes before they'll finally, either give in or you give in. When a child will say, can I, you go, no, yes. Well, that's kind of what it is with people when they hear about Relive. Sometimes it's no, and they have to hear it more than that. So just go out and give people options. All right. Build your business with strength. You're the one that's in control. And if you guys hear the background noise, that is because my the landscapers are here. So let me give you an example. I did an appointment once, and it was with a husband and wife, and I think this one was with Debbie Grin. And we were doing an appointment, and this guy was there, and his wife was interested in the business. And we got to that point, and at that point I wasn't using an iPad, I was using like a presentation book, because iPads back then were all that was just starting to come out like 7 or 8 years ago. And anyway, so we were using that, and we got to that point, and I remember he put his hand and he closed the presentation. He goes, well, we're not interested in that. And I gently removed his hand. I opened up the presentation book, and I said, I go, your wife invited us here. And I said, thank you for your opinion, but I go, I'm here talking to your wife. And I go, and she's interested in the business. Because I thought, you big bully. I thought, you're not going to do that to me. I was in control of that, and they ended up doing a quick start. So that's what happened. I could have said, oh, okay. I've had the same thing happen to me once. I went on an appointment by myself, and I was doing the same thing. And, the guy said, well, his wife was interested in the business. She wanted to know more. And he said, well, financially, we don't need that. And I said, and here they were struggling, but yet he was telling me they didn't need it. And she wanted to do something with their life. She wanted to find a way out that they could help save for their retirement, and that they could do something and move forward in their life. And he didn't want it, but she did. And, very rarely is that going to happen, because usually both parties, you want them to be on the same page, but every now and then you're going to get that. Or there's also a problem when if you have 2 or 3 different people at a meeting, at the end, be cautious, and I'm telling you to be careful when you say, so what do you think? I never say that, because what do you think means you could have 3 people that absolutely love what you just talked about, and you could have one person that's like, well, you could have the negative Nelly in the room. I don't do that. At the end of a conversation, at the end of a presentation, I always say, I know that we've talked about a lot, and I know that you like what you've seen. What interests you the most? Is it the product? Is it the business, or both? I'm controlling the conversation. I'm in control, not the people that I've invited to hear what I'm talking about. All right. This is really important. there's two questions that I really believe we always need to ask ourselves. Do you believe in the products? I do. I do. I really believe that my health, well, according to my doctors, if I wouldn't have done something, that my quality of life would have pretty much been demised in my mid-40s. That's what my doctors told me. So I got on the products, and I had faith in the products, and I knew that, I wasn't expecting this overnight result. Don't be afraid, and I'm not segueing, but as I'm talking about these things, it's reminding me about so much. When you put a person on the product, I always like to ask them, so when do you expect that you think you're going to get your results? You guys, don't be surprised when someone tells you tomorrow, in a week. That's a really cautious, or you need to be cautious about putting that person on the product, because I like to tell people, I don't want you to expect anything for 3 weeks up to 3 months. I don't want you to expect anything. It didn't take you one day to get into the predicament that you're in. It's going to take a little while. But you know what? You might receive your benefits beforehand, and if you did, that's terrific. So that's where you're believing in the product. Don't let someone tell you that. And if they're only going to take, if they're only going to take a half a scoop once or twice a day, and yet they're expecting these, results that are amazing, you can't do that. Hold on. My dog is crying in his crate, so hopefully he'll be okay. I don't know if my husband's on the line or not. Hold on. Would I get involved in the business or purchase product from me? Hold on. Sorry, everyone. We're doing crate training with my puppy, and he's, I think Jim's out talking to the landscapers, and he's crying in his crate. But yet I know I can't get him. It's hard. So would I get involved in the business or purchase products from me? Sorry, everyone. Just a second. I wasn't expecting this. I think Jim is indeed outside and didn't turn the radio on where the dog is. I think that's important. If you're out, let me give you an example. Let me give you an example of what that means. Once I went to an appointment where I was meeting with a guy, and he brought this lady. He brought his mother, and hold on just a minute. Max, be a good boy. Be a good boy. Sorry. He brought his mother, and I'm so sorry. He brought his mother, and his mom looked like she had just rolled out of bed. Her hair was a complete wreck. Her clothes were tattered. They were all wrinkled. Her hygiene wasn't the best. And I did this presentation reluctantly, and and it went well with him. And she was just kind of listening. And he said, "Oh," and he goes, "By the way," he goes, "my mom has started a legal business and wanted to know if you'd like to, maybe use her for legal counsel." And in my head, I thought, "Are you serious? I mean, this lady looks like, how could she can't even take care of herself, let alone take care of my legal, business." So I politely said, no, we're good. And then, oh my gosh, in my head, I was thinking, that's got to be crazy. So you have to really represent what you're doing. I will tell you that every time you need to be prepared when you go outside. If you want to meet people, then be prepared. I'm not saying that you have to have lipstick and everything on. I'm just saying you need to be clean. You need to look like, be a product of the product. There's so many of you that are on Fit3 that are losing weight, and you're continuing to lose weight. You guys have an amazing, amazing way to build a story, because it's visual. That's how it was when I first started. It was visual. My benefits were visual. People could see them. When you lose weight, look, the majority of Americans are overweight. The majority of people on this planet are overweight. People want to know how you did it. And what I love about the Fit3 program is it's not a quick fix. I mean, but yet all of a sudden you look at people. I honestly believe this is the first conference that I went to where I was looking at the majority of the people in that room. They were fit, they were svelte, they looked terrific. And that's what, we're starting a revolution. So ask yourself, Do I believe in the product? Do I believe in the company and myself? And would I get involved in the business or purchase product from me? Would I? Would you purchase product from yourself? That's one of the most important things. One other thing, going back to the company, and I got distracted when the puppy was barking. You guys, Relive's been here for over 30 years. They're going to be here for another 30 years. This company continues to grow. We continue to become more cutting edge, and it's sustained. What did they say? And I have to look back at my notes, but there's like only 4 or 5 companies that are still in business from when Relive started. And I'm thinking right off the bat, we've got Amway, we've got Mary Kay, I think maybe Arbonne, Nu Skin, Relive. I think that those might be the 5 that are still there. You guys, we are we're no longer a pioneer in the industry, but we're a pioneer in how we're moving forward with this revolution in nutrition. And with the new product line coming out, it's amazing. So, really think about the things that we've talked about. The other thing is, I love this. Doris, licensed Miss, she brought this on, and I've loved it. You have to ask yourself, is this a business for me? Is this something that I really take seriously? When Jim and I were in the building mode, and we went from, $0 to $100,000 a year in 5 years, building this around our kids, we were in the business mode. We were working this. We knew what we wanted to do. We were building this as to supplement our retirement. I mean, this allowed us for all those years that Jim was running the city of Portland, that our Relive check made thousands and thousands of dollars each month. But yet, Jim loved his job. And I was able to work the business, and we were able to bank all that. Do you realize what that did for our lifestyle? I mean, it was a business for us. So, and I always feel that we're on the products for life. So we're in the business for life. For us, they go hand in hand. But if you're going to be building and you want to get up to be an ambassador, you want to go to Hawaii, then treat it what it is. Treat it how it will happen. I'm amazed again at how many people get into Relive, and they, if they're not making, $2,000 a month by the end of the first year, sometimes even $1,000. They're expecting, well, it's not working. But you have to look back. What kind of effort are you putting into it? A lot of people, someone will tell me, I've had people, and I do ask them this question, how much income do you want to earn? $4,000 a month. Great. How much time are you willing to spend? About 2 hours a week. Okay. When do you want to have that by? In a year. Where can you go and work 2 hours a week and make $4,000 a month in any traditional business? You can't. But you can make $4,000 a month if you want to apply yourself just a little bit more. When you think about how many hours in the day that we have 24 hours a day. Most people, let's say if you're sleeping 8, a lot of us don't sleep that. But then by the time you get ready to go to work, you should have about 4 to 5 hours left in a day that you can do things. And you just have to matter, what is it I want to do? If you're working an 8 to 5 job and you're tired and you say, well, I don't have time. Here's the thing. You better make time, because that will never change for you. That 8 to 5 job grind will never change for you unless you make the time to change it yourself. And that goes back to what I was first talking about was, the confidence and believing in yourself. You have to believe in yourself so much to be able to do this business. And it can't come from you can build this business on the strength of other people's stories and experience, but you also have to build it on the strength of yourself. You need to believe in you. I can believe in you. I can do all that, but it doesn't matter if I believe more in you than you do in yourself. You need to believe in you. So, is this a business for you? Is it a hobby? That's fine. Hobbies are fine. We all have them. If you want to tinkle around in this a little bit, if you want to do it here and there, that's great. That's fine. You go to all the conferences, you meet everyone, and you love it that way. That's fine. Is it an interest? Okay, kind of toe dip every now and then. Here's the thing. There's room for all 3 in Relive, but you need to ask yourself, what is it for you? Business, hobby, or interest? That's the main thing. All right, how do you succeed with Relive? You guys, we have a system, and it really comes down to the daily activity We've got the support from Relive with the new websites. We've got the system that we do. And here's the things that we do. We have a circle of success. We identify people. We then connect with them. You guys make a list. You have to make a list. You'll never go through it. None of us have ever gotten through our list. Connect with people. You know, we want to make that connection. We're going to share the story. We're going to, do our appointments, do 3 ways. We're going to ask for a decision, and then we're going to register them and go. That's really what it is. That's what it was, 30 years ago, and that's what it is today. We're keeping it simple. We don't have to reinvent the wheel, per se, of what you're looking at. These fundamentals have always been a part of Relive, and they're what always will be a part of Relive forever, for the eternities, because it's what works. There's no shortcuts here. You can't, identify a person and then try to ask for a decision. You want to connect with these people. You want to be able to make that connection and then tell them about Relive and then move forward. Some people put people right on the product. It's okay. You can be lucky. My doctor didn't go into the big spiel. In fact, when Jim told him that we were going master affiliate, he didn't even think that we could do it. He said, no, you can't. And Jim's like, yeah, we can. He's like, no, you can't. We're like, yes, we can. We had a desire because the results I got, and we kind of bypassed him. Not everyone's like us. A lot of people want to be spoon-fed. They want you to tell them and show them and be able to answer their questions. Okay? So just go out, identify, connect, share the story, ask for a decision, register, and go. Does anybody have any other questions about conference or anything? I realized there was one I didn't put in that was thank you. I did want to tell you that next week there is no Saturday training. Believe it or not, next week is Easter. And I know that a lot of you will be at Easter egg hunts with your families and your friends. And so the week after that, Roger will be doing the training. I will be in the Monterey Salinas area that Saturday working with the California group. But Roger Broberg will be doing training that Saturday. There's also so many things coming up. There's the women's retreat that's coming up in about a month, and that's down in Atlanta. We actually will be in Disney World that week right before that. I won't be attending that, but I know it's going to be a great thing. We did talk about having a women's conference on the West Coast. I think that's going to be happening. So anyone have anything they want to share, anything going on in their systems this next week? And if I've muted, I'll tell you what, I'm going to unmute everyone. Let me just see if I can do that. Unmute all. Everyone's lines are unmuted. And if you're muted yourself, it's because you muted it at your end. But anyone want to share anything? No comments?
Quila, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, great. Thank you. First day to attend your meeting. It's wonderful. And thanks for sharing what you do here. And just amazed with how simple this is all about. I've been around a while and nothing has changed, but the confidence is definitely there. If you say anything with somebody, like I made a comment there with a friend of mine, but she heard my heart and the confidence that I have with these products. And after I shared with her my story, she says, now I understand why you love this and you talk to everybody we meet, because she used to feel like, oh, don't talk to my friends about this. But it was a heart-to-heart talk, and now we're good.
Good. Thank you. And we're glad to have you. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Very fun. Anybody else want to share? You guys are awfully quiet, which always makes me nervous. It means either you really liked it or you're like, But I can tell you, I know from a matter of fact that what I'm sharing works. But anybody else have any comments? And if not, then we'll go ahead and stop the recording.
I mean, it was phenomenal.
Thank you, Lauren.
Just
just thinking about all the people to connect to this training that, or, makes you think of all the people that you wish was on. So.
Well, thank you. You went in and out on me, but I think I heard that, but I appreciate that. I just want to tell you guys, and I don't know how other than tell you, but everything that I've shared with you is true. Through over being with this company for almost, 3 decades, we're going into our 28th year. The things that we do today are no different from the things that we did in November of 1991. It's the same. Keep it simple. If you go out and you try to do all these things, you just complicate it. It's something that people can't duplicate. And right now, and I think I'm going to end it with this. We've got to remember, everyone looks for simplicity because of the speed of how things go in our life. Everything's quick. We go on we look at things on our phone, and if it takes more than a couple seconds to get, we're like, I can't believe it. Or, if we can't bring up something, or if our TV control is, we're all looking for instant things, okay? Relive is not an instant fix, but how we present that, we can keep it so simple that people can understand this. And the minute that you're talking to them, they're thinking, I could do this, or they're going to think, I could never do this. And I did an incredible presentation once that I thought hands down was the best presentation I did with an incredible prospect for the business. And at the end I said, I know we've talked about a lot of things, and I told her, I said, where do you see yourself? You're more interested in the products or the business? And she goes, I could never do this. She goes, I could never do what you just did. And I knew right then that I completely and totally had lost it. I learned from that lesson not to ever do that again. The simpler you can do it, if you can read the slides, then people go, oh, I don't have to know everything. I can read the slides. So many people think sometimes when we get into Relive, you need to know everything. If you guys all ask me, what are the ingredients and all the products, I can never tell you. I've made it known. I've looked at them, but I don't remember what all the sugars are, or the carbohydrates, or all that. I know it was important to me, and I looked at it once, but I don't need to know all that. You don't need to know all those things. Keep it simple, and you're going to build a huge business. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. Oh, let me see. There were 3 more chats. Let's see. Oh, happy Easter, everybody. And let me stop. I got to stop the training, or stop the recording. Hold on.